Identifying zeros of polynomials. When identifying the zeros of any polynomial, we need to have that polynomial completely factored out, and then we set it equal to 0. And the reason this works is because of the zero product property, which states if A times B equals 0, then either A equals 0 or B equals 0. And now we're going to actually do the proof of that. It's a pretty basic proof. In the proof of if A, B equals 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0, we're going to start with what we are given. We are given that A, B equals 0. Then we will proceed by contradiction. So we have to figure out what the opposite of our then statement is. The opposite of our then statement would be since A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0, the opposite of that would be A is not equal to 0 and B is not equal to 0. So that is our contradiction statement. So we're also going to let that be true. Now, if we look at what we have, we see that A does not equal 0, B does not equal 0, and A times B equals 0. However, because A and B both do not equal 0, then you're multiplying a non-zero number by a non-zero number, and that's going to give us a non-zero number. Since A and B are non-zero, then AB must be non-zero as well. However, with this information, we have reached a contradiction. This cannot be true because we already know that A times B is equal to 0. We were given that in our original statement right here. So, that since we have reached our contradiction, then we have essentially reached the end of our proof. We just need to clean it up a little bit. Therefore, if AB equals 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0. So, to solve some examples, what we need to do is, we already have these in factored form, we just need to set it equal to 0. So 0 equals x minus 8 times x minus 6. And then, if we consider A to be x minus 8 and B to be x minus 6, then we set them individually equal to 0. X minus 8 equals 0, or x minus 6 equals 0. And then we just solve for x. So either x equals 8 or x equals 6. So those are our two possibilities. In this next example, we have 3 factors, but it's the same thing. We just have to set all of them equal to 0. So 0 equals 2x plus 3, x plus 1, 3x minus 1. So we set individually 2x plus 3 equal to 0, x plus 1 equal to 0, 3x minus 1 equals 0, and then we solve. So we subtract 3 and divide by 2. So x equals negative 3 halves, or subtract the 1, x equals negative 1, or add the 1, divide by 3, x equals 1/3. So those would be our 3 possible zeros. Those are your notes over identifying zeros of polynomials. Go through some practice problems. Make sure that you can do these practice problems and they make sense to you, and then prepare for your quiz.